I'm going to be discussing crocheting a steek to reinforce it before cutting. I have a 5-stitch steek here in a columned pattern. As you can see, we have 2 outside border stitches that are in the background color of the project and a center stitch that is the same color, and then 2 neighboring stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches in this steek. What we want to do is crochet the leg of the center stitch with the leg of its neighbor. So in this case, we want to crochet the leg of the left neighboring stitch, the left leg of the neighbor stitch to the left, to the right leg of the center stitch. And then we want to crochet the right leg of the center stitch with the left leg of its neighbor to the right. We need to begin crocheting on the left edge of the steek. So this would be the left edge. We're going to crochet the legs together, row by row by row, all the way up, turn around and come down. The things that you need to do this are a crochet hook that is smaller than your project needle. My project needle is a size 6. My crochet hook is a D. You'll need some yarn. Preferably if you use a contrasting color, that's great, because that way you can make sure and not snip it when you're cutting up the steek. And it needs to be thinner than your project yarn. So this is my project yarn. It's 100% wool. And my crocheting yarn also is 100% wool, but it is thinner. It's easier if you turn your work perpendicular to how you're seated and work from right to left. So I'm going to reposition my work, and I will be working from right to left. I will start by securing my yarn at the bottom. I'm going to be working with these 2 stitches now, remember. The center stitch and the stitch to its left, which is closest to me. And I'm going to be crocheting the 2 legs together. So it's great if I can fold up my work so that I can see only the legs that I'm going to be going to. So I'm going to secure my crochet yarn just right above the cast on, down by between the 2 stitches, just to get it secure there. Just pull it up, pull a loop, and do 1 chain to secure it. Okay, so I'm going to reposition myself. I'm going to pick up my piece and I'm going to bend it so that my center stitch and its neighbor to the left are together. I have the right leg of the neighboring stitch and the left leg of the center stitch together. I'm going to begin by taking my crochet hook, going underneath the left leg of the neighboring stitch and underneath the right leg of the center stitch. In this case, I have a dark blue as the neighbor and a light blue as the center, so that's how I refer to them. I went under the leg of the dark blue and the light blue. I'm going to pull my yarn through and pull it through again. I am doing a slip stitch. I will show you how to do a single crochet stitch in a moment, and you can decide how you want to do it. But this is a slip stitch. Take my crochet hook. I'm going underneath the dark blue, underneath the light blue, wrapping your yarn around, pulling it through both legs and pulling it through the loop on my hook. Moving up 1 row, dark blue leg, light blue leg, yarn around, pull through both legs, pull through the loop on my hook. Move up a row. Dark blue leg, light blue leg, yarn around, pull through the loop on my hook. 1 more time. Under the dark blue leg, under the light blue leg, yarn around, pull through legs, pull through the loop on your hook. You can see that that is a nice little crochet. It's unobtrusive, doesn't stick up very much, that's a slip stitch crochet. I'm going to show you how to do a single crochet in case you want a little bit more bulk or you feel more comfortable with more yarn there. And this is how you do a single crochet. You take your hook, go under the dark blue and the light blue under both legs, yarn around, pull through both legs, keep 2 loops on your hook, yarn around, pull through both loops. Go under the 2 legs. Oops, yeah, that's it. 2 legs, yarn around, pull through, yarn around, pull through both. Under 2 legs, yarn around, pull through legs, yarn around, pull through both loops on the hook. Again, under both legs, yarn around, oops, pull through both legs, yarn around, pull through both loops. We'll do it one more time so we can compare. Under both legs, yarn around, pull through, yarn around, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Alright, so let's take a look at that. This is single crochet. This is slip stitch crochet. You can see how much more this stands up. Also, you can see what it looks like towards the center of the stitch. A lot more bulkiness here. You can see a whole lot more yarn than you can see here. So I'm going to continue going on up the swatch all the way to the top. When I get to the top, I'll show you how to secure it off and we'll get started coming down the other side. So I've crocheted up the entire length of my steek here on the left side, and it's important that you start on the left side because your stitches need to face towards your body of your fabric, and your center stitch needs to look like this. Before you stop at the very top and finish off, just go back and look at the center stitch of your steek and make sure that your yarn did not catch the right leg anywhere. So I'm just going to kind of go down here and just make sure that you can see in between. It'll pull apart and my red yarn does not catch that other leg. Okay, so it's free and clear. I'm ready to turn around. So now I can fasten off my yarn. You just cut your yarn, pull it through your resulting loop that you had from your last slip stitch crochet or single crochet, and pull it tight. And then reposition your work so that you're working from right to left. So I'm going to rotate it. And I'm going to be crocheting now the right leg of my center stitch to the left leg of its neighbor closest to me. Again, I'm going to take my crochet yarn and I will just secure it up here by the bind off edge. And then I'm going to fold my work so that I can see both of my legs of the stitches. So in this case I have dark blue closest to me and the center stitch light blue furthest away from me. And I'm simply going to begin going under the legs, pulling through. And I'm going to do a slip stitch. I like that better, so I'm just going to be working a slip stitch. Under both legs, yarn around, pull through the loop of my hook. Moving up one row at a time, making sure I just get those legs and nothing else. All right, so that I'm going to continue down all the way to the bottom of my steek. But we'll come back in a minute and we'll see it totally finished. But you can see right here I have two. I'm going up this side, coming down this side. I have my center stitches. You can see how the crochet is on either side of that center stitch, and how you have the light blue legs of the center stitch open here like little ladders. That's where we're going to be cutting up, and we'll look at that in just a moment. I'm finishing up going down the other edge of the steek with the crochet, and I've come to the very end. I'm just going to go under the cast on edge again, pull a loop through, pull it through to slip stitch, enlarge the loop, and then I cut my yarn already, so I'm just going to pull that through and tighten it down. So that'll finish it. So I have the beginning and the end at the bottom, and the beginning and the end at the top. Now I'm going to lay this flat, and you can see the center stitch has the crocheted edges in it. You have to pull it apart, and you can see the ladders of the center stitch. You can also see the floats of the dark blue that are traveling underneath it. You're going to be cutting through that also. You are not going to cut either leg of the center stitch or the red crochet yarn that you put. So you need a really sharp pair of scissors. I like to use something smaller with this smaller stitches because it can get in there a lot easier. So I'm going to start at the very bottom on my cast on edge. I'm going to cut between my crochet threads. So you can see where I started here on the left and where I ended here on the right. And I'm just going to snip that right between those two. And I'll pull it apart as I go so that I can see my ladders. So you just continue on up, making sure that you don't snip your crochet. Here's your bind off edge, and you're done. So this is what the edge looks like. It's very secure. On the other side, it looks very nice. Your other edge is the same.